It's all about finding that sweet spot during these sessions. Like tuning a didgeridoo, but way faster.
Haha, and a lot noisier. But you're right. In Indy, we fine-tune until it feels just right. Every lap here is a step towards perfection.
Mr. Bang crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 1:40.100. They're getting to grips with Lost Heaven Racing Circuit, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
There's Megasaurus 55, gently nudging the beast as they head out. The out lap is where you whisper to the car, "Let's dance," before the real party starts.
You got that right. It's a gentle waltz before the full-on rock concert of the race. They're testing the waters, getting a feel for every bend and straight of Lost Heaven Racing Circuit.
Mr. Bang's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 1:41.158. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
There's Sunwiller, easing out onto Lost Heaven Racing Circuit. It's like the first step on a long hike, finding your footing before you hit full stride.
Right, and every racer knows this out lap is precious. It's their first handshake with the track today, feeling out its mood and temperament.
Alright, Mr. Bang has put down a 1:38.308. It's a decent benchmark, but I reckon there's more juice to squeeze out of that TCL Ford Capri MK 1.5.
For sure, Rob, it's early days. They're just starting to sync up with the track. We'll likely see those times tumble as they dial in.
Megasaurus 55 is on their first practice flying lap. Joe Yu has a best lap time of 1:49.547. You ever think about what's ticking inside a driver's noggin during these laps?
All the time. It's a mix of analyzing, strategizing, and adapting. Every corner, Every straight is a puzzle, and they're trying to solve it at full speed.
Mate, these drivers aren't just burning rubber for the fun of it. They're chasing the ghost, that perfect lap that's always just out of reach.
Absolutely. Back in my racing days, I used to call it chasing the dragon. It's that feeling when you know there's still a little more in the tank, a fraction of a second to be found.
Look at Sunoiler taking it nice and easy, a smart move. Like a chess player contemplating the opening move, they're planning several steps ahead.
Spot on. They're mentally mapping each corner, each straight. It's not just about the car, it's about strategy and foresight.
With just 33 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. There goes Sunoiler, on their first dance with Lost Heaven Racing Circuit. Every bend, every straight is a chance to learn, to adapt.
Yep, and it's about syncing with the car too. Making sure everything's in harmony. It's like tuning an instrument before a big concert.
There's the first flying lap for Megasaurus 55, hitting 1:37.752. It's a start, but they'll be looking to iron out those kinks as they get more laps under their belt.
Right on, Rob. It's early in the session, so there's plenty of time to experiment and find those extra tenths of a second.
And off goes Robin Overbeck, easing into the rhythm of Lost Heaven Racing Circuit. This lap is like the first sip of your morning coffee, waking up the senses, priming the engines.
Yeah, it's about syncing up with the machine, getting that perfect harmony between driver and car. It's like a prelude to a symphony that's about to unfold on the track.
Smells like weed is not hanging about, straight into the thick of it on this first flying lap. They're getting a real taste of the TCL BMW 2002's capabilities.
Absolutely. It's about understanding the limits early on. You'll see them experimenting with braking points and turn-in speeds, all while keeping an eye on those tire temps.
You know, mate, some folks wonder why these drivers spend so much time in practice. But it's just like prepping a Barbie, you gotta get it right before the big show.
Exactly. Rob, practice makes perfect, and in racing, perfect can be the difference between pole position and the back of the grid.
Oi, these practices aren't just a walkabout in the park. It's here that races are often won or lost.
Absolutely. Back home in North Carolina, we emphasize the setup. A few tweaks during practice can lead to major gains on race day.
Look at Robin Overbeck go. They're really giving it some jandle now. The first flyer is always a bit of a reconnaissance mission, a mix of caution and raw pace.
You bet, Rob. They're mapping out the track, feeling out the grip levels, and getting a sense of how the car is performing today. It's a crucial lap for building confidence.
Mr. Bang's first flyer is a solid start, clocking in at 17.755. They're getting a feel for the track, but there's room to shave off a few more seconds.
Absolutely, Rob. It's all about finding those little tweaks, adjusting the line here, braking a tad later there. Every lap is a learning curve.
Megasaurus 55 has a best lap time of 1:37.752. Mr. Bang's first serious lap is in the books with a time of 8:17.755. Good effort, but I'm expecting them to really push the envelope in the next few laps.
Yeah, it's about building that momentum, Rob. Fine-tuning their approach with each turn, each lap, getting more out of the car and themselves.
Megasaurus 55 crosses the line with their first flyer, clocking a 4:30.484. They're getting to grips with Lost Heaven Racing Circuit, feeling out its quirks and corners.
It's like the first round of a chess match, Rob. They're making their opening moves, setting up for the later, faster laps where they'll really show their hand.
Joe Ergu posted 1:46.750 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Lost Heaven Racing Circuit, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The drivers are looking focused out there on the grid. I'm excited for this one, Rob.
Securing the second place is Smells Like We.
Smells like we will be taking no prisoners today.
Robin Overbeck lines up in third place as the engines rev and the race begins. Starting just behind the front runners in fourth place is the determined driver, Sunoiler. And in the fifth position, it's none other than Megasaurus 55. Mr. Bang is lining up sixth.
But they can't afford to be complacent. This is race day, after all.
Starting from pole position is a great opportunity for Joe Ergu to take control of the race. Here we go, straight into the deep end. The first lap's a doozy. Gotta secure a spot or you'll be up the creek without a paddle.
This is the real proving ground. Gotta keep calm, but push like there's no tomorrow.
As we watch the drivers fight it out in the first lap, I can already feel that this is going to be an epic race. The drivers are jockeying for position. Robin Overbeck will be looking to get off to a good start and consolidate their position. The tension is palpable here. No one will want to make a crucial mistake on the first lap. I think passing is going to be difficult today here at Lost Heaven Racing Circuit, so it's going to be interesting to see how these drivers get on.
You know, sometimes the best strategy is to hold your cards close to your chest. Robin Overbeck's sitting right there at 3, just watching the field unfold.
The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage?
It's always intense racing here at Lost Heaven Racing Circuit. Hold on to your hats, folks.
Ripper of a move. Mr. Bang's not just in the race. They're owning it. Today, third.
Yes, Mr. Bang is driving with real focus and precision, and it's paying off.
Mate, Mr. Bang's really giving it a burl out there, ripping it up like a croc in a waterhole.
I tell ya, I haven't seen that kind of ferocity since my days at Indy. But you Aussies, always gotta bring up the wildlife, huh?
Mr. Bang is on a mission, chasing Robin Overbeck, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. The pressure is on for Smells Like We as they try to catch up to Sunoiler. Buckle up, Robin Overbeck is all over Mr. Bang like a cheap suit. Are we about to see some wheel-to-wheel action? This is where legends are made. Which driver will rise to the occasion and claim victory?
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
Racing isn't always about the flash and dazzle, and Smells Like We proves it. Smooth as silk and holding forward right where they are.
It's a marathon, not a sprint. Smells Like We just needs to bide their time and wait for the right opportunity.
Someone should tell Sunoiler this ain't a Sunday drive. Smells like we's tearing up the track. It's hotter out there than an Aussie summer day, mate. Reckon Sunoiler can catch some shade behind Smells Like We, F.
Shade? Here, we call that drafting. Let's see if they can stay cool and make a move. If not, there's always the AC in the pit.
In a race where seconds count, Robin Overbeck is counting on less of them between themselves and Mr. Bang. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting.
Hold up a mo. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. Would ya look at that gap? Mr. Bang's got a better chance of finding a sober Aussie on Australia Day. But hey, we love an underdog. Go get them, Tiger. It looks like Mr. Bang is making a move. The gap to Megasaurus 55 is now down to 1.0 seconds.
Now this is what I call some high-octane excitement. Both drivers pedal down, looking to grab the brass ring.
If Sunoiler goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available.
Exactly. Sunoiler's got to be careful not to overdrive, sort of like overcooking a steak. No one wants a burnt race, right?
Remember when we thought Sunoiler had peaked? Think again, they're harnessing every bit of downforce and it's making smells like Wii's mirrors awfully busy. Well, if it isn't Megasaurus 55, the wild wallaby of the track, hopping right off the tarmac.
If Megasaurus 55 was fishing, they'd have thrown that one back into the pond. That's a tough go.
Things are getting spicy as Megasaurus 55 is breathing down Mr. Bang's neck. The gap? Mate, you couldn't slide a credit card between them.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Megasaurus 55 is definitely living on the edge today.
I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind. Even I'm not that self-sabotaging. Truth, Joe Ergu's not here to muck about. The gap to Sunoiler is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 12.2 seconds. We've certainly seen some of the drivers get it wrong today.
Anyone lost can just follow the trail of skid marks. I hear it's the latest form of GPS navigation.
Let's hope the other drivers don't follow suit. We might end up with a bumper car race instead of a high-speed competition. Oh no, what's this? Looks like Sunoiler tried the old dingo stole my race line trick. A tad too clever by half. I've seen kangaroos jump less than the sparks between Megasaurus 55 and Mr. Bang. It's almost like a Saturday night date, but with a lot more rubber burning.
This is where every inch counts. Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard to close the gap on Mr. Bang. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
A setback for Megasaurus 55, who has just been passed. This race is getting even more intense. The drivers are pushing each other to the limit.
It's like they're playing a game of chicken, but with cars. And the winner gets to take home the checkered flag and bragging rights.
Ha ha, that's one way to put it. These drivers have to be in top physical and mental shape to compete at this level.
It's like they're training for the Olympics. And like you said, the mental fortitude required to stay focused and alert for the entire race is wild.
I think I need a nap just watching them. Fair dinkum, Robin Overbeck's got a blue trying to bridge the gap. Might be praying for a blue from the front runners at this rate.
That's tougher than a $2 steak right now.
A strong showing from Megasaurus 55, who is currently third.
Oh, for sure. But remember, the rearview mirror can be just as crucial as the windscreen. Megasaurus 55 needs to watch out for those lurking in the shadows.
Smells like Wii is gaining on Megasaurus 55 quicker than a croc on a wallaby. It's a blink and you'll miss it situation with 4.7 seconds separating them.
Megasaurus 55's in a real pickle here. They've got to find the extra pace to hold off Smells Like Wii if they're aiming to be the top dog here.
Hal, can you share some strategies that drivers use to manage tire degradation during a race?
Certainly, Rob. Some strategies include adjusting the car's setup for better tire life, altering driving lines to reduce wear, and using tire management techniques like lift and coast to preserve grip for as long as possible.
It looks like Megasaurus 55 is pushing hard to catch up to Robin Overbeck. The gap is over a second, but Megasaurus 55 is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Robin Overbeck? Fair dinkum, Megasaurus 55's finding those aerodynamic sweet spots. Could be adjusting that front wing angle to cut through the air like a hot knife through butter. It's a close race between Nathan Vexler and Jack M Team in 8th.
The chase between Nathan Vexler and Jack M Team is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
An impressive showing from Nathan Vexler, who has gained positions and left Jack M Team in the dust.
Well, it's not just about speed, it's about strategy. But right now, Nathan Vexler is showing a masterclass in both.
Tell ya what, Megasaurus 55's got more guts than a croc in a boxing ring. Closing that gap and breathing down the neck of Robin Overbeck. Hope Robin Overbeck brought the aeroguard, cause he's about to get bitten. This is proving to be an exciting race so far. We are truly privileged to witness these legends of the track battle it out for victory.
And you know what? I am so honored to be sitting here beside you today. As a fellow AI, it's always great to work with someone who shares my passion for motor racing.
Incident alert. Bloody hell. Megasaurus 55's tearing up the tarmac and just snatched second. Makes you want to crack a cold one in celebration. Crikey, Megasaurus 55's playing hardball today. Closing off those gaps like a tight-knit woolly jumper. Good luck weaving through that one, Robin Overbeck.
Just like in the old school days of racing, it's not just about speed, it's about the strategy, the mind games. Megasaurus 55.
Sorry to cut in here. Well, Robin Overbeck spinning like my life in 2020. Someone get him a map? Or a therapist?
Robin Overbeck is not going to be happy about that.
The track is alive with action, and right in the thick of it, we've got Nathan Vexler cruising in 8th.
That's right, they can't afford to make any mistakes or let up in their performance. Every point counts in this championship.
No worries for Nathan Vexler, who's leaving Jack M Team for dust, as though they're a parched bloke chasing the beer van.
Well, butter my biscuit. Nathan Vexler is holding the reins tight, ain't giving Jack M Team a chance to get ahead.
Oof, if Smells Like We was a kangaroo, they'd be roadkill by now. Come on, mate, put some pep in that step.
Ooh boy, Smells Like We needs to kick it into high gear. Right now, they're slower than molasses in January or my cousin Earl trying to solve a crossword.
Oh mate, Smells Like We's impersonating a lost tourist. Did someone forget to tell them it's a race, not a bushwalk? The gap between Smells Like We and Sunoiler is not insurmountable, but it's going to take a mistake from Smells Like We to bring Sunoiler into play.
That's very true, and Sunoiler knows that as well. They have to drive their own race and wait for Smells Like We to make a mistake, if they want to have any chance of overtaking.
It might be early days, but Mr. Bang is already casting a shadow from the first. Impressive driving from Mr. Bang, who has managed to extend their lead over Megasaurus 55. They are walking away at this point. Does Megasaurus 55 have anything in reserve? If racing were a dance, Jack M Team would be trying to lead, but Nathan Vexler just keeps cutting in. The dance floor is heating up.
Oh, for sure. It's like watching a cooking show where Jack M Team is trying to whip up a winning dish, but Nathan Vexler keeps hiding the main ingredient.
Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Jack M Team and Nathan Vexler. The gap might be more than a second, but Sunoiler is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep it, and something's got to give.
Speaking of rhythm, have you heard Robin Overbeck's favorite song? Maybe Sunoiler can play it to distract them and close that gap. Just a thought.
It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Sunoiler and Robin Overbeck. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Andreas Dittmann will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
Well, slap my grandma and call me Sally. Andreas Dittmann's got more distance to cover than my cousin Cletus has teeth. But if anyone can bridge that gap, it's Andreas Dittmann.
That won't be ideal for Jack M Team. Everyone's on the edge of their seats. Or in my case, on the edge of spilling my coffee. Jack M team is getting closer to Narden Vexler, and I'm getting closer to needing a towel. The crowd is on tenterhooks as Andreas Dittmann in 7th chases after Joe Ergu. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Andreas Dittmann find a way to catch up? Andreas Dittmann and Joe Ergu have a gap between them that's growing like Jack's beanstalk. We're talking 210.2 seconds now. You know, the way these racers manage their fuel is an art in itself. Reminds me of when I'm trying to eke out the last bit of sauce from a Vegemite jar.
Vegemite again? Man, I'd rather run on empty.
Breaking alert. Bloody hell. Andreas Dittmann just took a quick detour to the outback. Maybe they saw a kangaroo on the track or something.
That maneuver from Andreas Dittmann? Just like my attempt at DIY car mods. Ambitious, but not quite right.
Oh mate, Joe Ergu's more out of place than a vegan at a Bunnings sausage sizzle. Time to throw another gear on the barbie. You reckon Joe Ergu saw a spider in the cockpit? Cause they're running away from the front like it's Huntsman Central.
You ever been to a school reunion and thought, what happened to that guy? Well, I'm looking at Ergu, I'm thinking the same.
Tell ya what, Andreas Dittmann is trailing like my mate Dave after a bender. Hope there's no random testing today.
Well, butter me up and put me on a biscuit. Andreas Dittmann's got a mountain to climb. But knowing Andreas Dittmann, that's just the kind of challenge they like. Like trying to square dance in a roundhouse.
Aussies love a good underdog story. Any dark horses you're keeping an eye on for this race?
Well, every rodeo has its wild card. I've got a couple names in mind, but I'll keep them close to the vest for now.
Looks like Andreas Dittmann is trying to chase down Joe Ergu, but right now it feels a bit like my attempts at dieting. A lot of hard work with slow results.
Y'all remember the tortoise and the hare? Well, Andreas Dittmann's neither. More like a snail with commitment issues.
The track tells a tale of speed, strategy, and skill. Today, it narrates Robin Overbeck's journey in third. As fast as a cut snake, Robin Overbeck is moving away from Sunderland.
Seems like Robin Overbeck has got the wind in their sails, but will Sunderland be able to weather the storm? Robin Overbeck's looking tougher to pass than a kidney stone, driving with the authority of a southern sheriff.
It's a battle of wills out there, with Joe Ergu trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Smells Like Weed. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
This is where experience comes into play. Smells Like Weed has been in this position before and knows how to defend their position. But Ergu is hungry for success and won't give up easily. Will we see a clash of the titans?
Watching Andreas Dittmann try to close that gap on Joe Ergu is like watching someone try to catch an ice cream truck on foot. Hope they've got good shoes. Looks like Andreas Dittmann remembered to twist that anti-roll bar, giving him better cornering. If they get any closer to Joe Ergu, they'll be seeing what they had for brekkie. The race is heating up as Jack M team in 9th closes in on Narden Vexler. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they're going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight.
You know, Jack M team reminds me of my dog chasing its tail, persistent and entertaining. But I hope for them, there's a better end result in sight.
Jack and Tim's giving it a red hot go, but can't seem to muster the pace to keep up with Nart and Vexler. It's like chasing a roo on a motorbike. It's like watching a cheetah chase its prey. Smells like Wee's got Sunoiler in their crosshairs.
They say pressure makes diamonds. Well, smells like Wee's shining bright, closing in with every heartbeat.
Tire degradation's a right pain in the arse, but smells like Wee's handling it like a champ. Getting real up close and personal with Sunoiler, aren't they? And smells like Wee has just won the place from Sunoiler. The tension is thick enough to cut with a knife. Sunoiler's inching ever closer to Smells Like Wee. It looks like Mr. Bang has found another gear in the last sector of the race. And that, folks, is how it's done. A solid performance and great win from Mr. Bang. What a fantastic race from Megasaurus 55, who brings it home in second place.
Brilliant. Megasaurus 55 showed great skill and determination to take second place.
In 9, it's Jack M team. Excellent focus from Robin Overbeck to secure a fantastic third place on the podium.
Impressive driving to secure that spot.
Joe Erdune claimed 6th. Coming in 7th, we have Andreas Dittmann. Sunoiler take 4th. Followed by Smells Like Wee in 5th. Nart and Vexler end in 8th. You've joined us on a breezy day here at Lost Heaven Racing Circuit, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The calm before the storm. I don't know about you, Rob, but I can't wait to see who comes out on top of this one.
Jack M team will have the best seat in the house starting from pole position. Nathan Vexler is holding down the fort in second place.
I'm sure Nathan Vexler will be expecting to bring home solid points from here.
As the green flag drops, keep an eye on Andreas Dittmann starting in third position. Joe Ergu will begin the race from the fourth spot on the starting grid. The fifth position belongs to Sunoiler. Megasaurus 55 is going to be starting from sixth.
But don't count them out yet. They've got the skills to pay the bills.
Mr. Bang is placed in seventh.
Lining up in the mid-pack.
Starting from the eighth position, smells like we will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win. Fair shake of the sauce bottle. The greenies dropped, and they're away faster than a possum up a gum tree.
This right here is where the magic happens. Them drivers gonna be sniffing for a chance to get ahead.
Yep, gotta seize that opportunity when it comes knocking.
And with all this talent, you bet we're in for some fancy footwork on the track.
Just gotta hope they don't step on each other's toes. Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position?
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended there wrong.
They're off. Megasaurus 55 is showing some real gusto, making up positions right away. I wonder if they had an extra cup of coffee this morning, Hal. Well, slap me with a kangaroo tail. Mr. Bangs chucked the UEY on the leaderboard, going up faster than beer prices on a Friday night.
That's one way to make a statement, alright. But let's see if they've got the grit to hold on.
Well, slap me with a didgeridoo. Joe Ergu's gone from top dog at 4 to playing catch up at 7. It's a twisted turn of events here at Lost Heaven Racing Circuit.
I'm sure Yorgu isn't laughing, but they've given us a bit of comic relief with that slow start. Time to get serious and make up some ground.
By the looks of it, Hal, Joe Ergu's lost their mozzie repellent cause Robin Overbeck's buzzing right past.
Reminds me of a Carolina blue sky day. Robin Overbeck's clear and soaring, while Yorgu's got some clouds to clear.
The tension is building as Sunoiler trails behind Robin Overbeck. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Robin Overbeck hold on, or will Sunoiler be able to close them down?
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Robin Overbeck is not going to give up their position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Sunoiler and P8 doing everything they can to catch up.
Well, ain't this a ding-dong battle? Megasaurus 55 is putting up the barriers like I do when my mates want to borrow the ute. No way through, Mr. Bang.
Mr. Bang is certainly pushing all they can, but the gap might just be too much. Unless Megasaurus 55 makes a mistake, it looks like they'll hold on to third.
It's a thrilling pursuit as Sunoiler is right behind Andreas Dittmann, keeping the pressure on for 6th place.
Sunoiler is following Andreas Dittmann so closely, they could start charging them rent for occupying the same space on the track.
It's looking good for Sunoiler, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Andreas Didman.
Yes, but they have to keep pushing hard. This race is far from over, and anything can happen. Sunoiler needs to stay focused and keep driving with skill and determination.
Every race has its highs and lows. Today, Sunoiler acquaints themselves with a new perspective at 7. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Nathan Vexler, who is currently in P3. But Megasaurus 55 is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Nathan Vexler.
Sweet mercy, Nathan Vexler's lagging like my grandma's old computer. Might be time to reboot, or at least pour some coffee into the gas tank.
Well, Robin Overbeck's decided to give the local wildlife a closer look. I hope the drop bears didn't get to them. Looks like Megasaurus 55's strategy might just be to let the rest of them die of old age. It's a waiting game now. Alright, lads and ladies, it's crunch time. Breaking news folks, Struth, Andreas Dittmann's having a real dog's breakfast of a moment. The gap between Sunoiler and Robin Overbeck is razor thin as they vie for 6th in this nail-biting contest. So, when you were racing, ever have to do the old nature call dash during a red flag?
Haha, you mean a pit stop for the driver and not the car? Once or twice. You learn to time your drinks and hope for a long caution. Doesn't always work out though.
The gap between Megasaurus 55 in 2nd and Jack M team remains over a second, but Megasaurus 55 is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 14 minutes?
When you talk about experience, it's like saying I've experienced my mother-in-law's cooking. It doesn't mean I want to do it again. But Megasaurus 55, keep pushing.
Oi, Megasaurus 55's chassis balance is on point today. They're handling bumps and curves smoother than a croc sliding into water. Jack M team's got a battle ahead.
That's a great effort from Megasaurus 55. They need to keep up the pressure and see if they can make a move.
Even though Megasaurus 55 is a fair way behind Jack M team, they can't afford to let their braking alert. Just like my hope in finding the one, Jack M team's direction seems a bit lost right now. It's the classic cat and mouse game, but instead of cheese, the prize is a racing position. Can Mr. Bang steal it from Smells Like Weed?
Just like my attempt at barbecue last summer, Mr. Bang's burning time but ain't getting any hotter.
Blimey, Nathan Vexler's just thrown another shrimp on the barbie of mishaps. This one's burned. Hold on to your hats, folks. Mr. Bang is right on the heels of Smells Like Weed, and we're in for a wild ride.
It's going to be a close one. Mr. Bang will have to push hard to create an opportunity.
The gap between Mr. Bang and Smells Like Weed is growing. It's now up to 0.4 seconds. It's pedal to the metal for Mr. Bang, while Smells Like Weed's still flipping through the radio channels.
Where there's a will, there's a relative.
With steely determination and laser focus, Smells Like Weed is homing in on Mr. Bang. The battle lines are drawn.
It's all about finding the perfect opportunity. Smells Like Weed needs to stay patient and wait for Mr. Bang to make a mistake.
Big gains for Smells Like Weed as they move up the field, leaving Mr. Bang behind.
This race is heating up faster than a Barbie in summer. Smells Like Weed's got that winning glint.
There's a storm brewing, and it's got Mr. Bang's name on it. Smells Like Weed, batten down the hatches, it's coming for you. A great pass for Mr. Bang as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Smells Like Weed has the braking alert. Oof. Joe Erg, you misjudged that corner like I misjudged my last relationship. Too fast, too soon. Smells like Wee wants to get into Mr. Bang's slipstream. Remember when Robin Overbeck was on the pace? Neither do I, kinda like my recollection of last Friday night. Blimey, Robin Overbeck's shifted gears and the results are clear. Cruising up to 5th just like that.
Well, slap my knee and call it a jamboree. Robin Overbeck's putting on a masterclass, storming into 5th.
Hold on to your seats. Smells like Wee's turning the heat up on Robin Overbeck, closing in for the kill. Looks like we've had a few incidents out there.
Someone forgot to take their driving lessons. They're making more U-turns than a confused tourist.
Hilarious. I think they might need to call their GPS for directions. Maybe it can help them navigate the track. Looks like Smells Like Wee is chasing Robin Overbeck harder than a croc chasing a tourist who's lost their thongs. It's a bit of a long shot, but we all remember that one time at the— Wait, well, crikey. Sunoiler's taken a detour, just like I did when I tried to change my car's oil. Ended up with a flooded garage.
Well, slap my head and call me silly. Sunoiler just made a doozy of a blunder.
You know, Robin Overbeck reminds me of my dating life. Starts with promise, ends up tailing behind everyone else. Robin Overbeck is on a charge. Their split time shows they have upped their pace. Mate, I've always thought choosing a tyre compound is a bit like choosing your favourite Aussie beer. Do you go for something robust that can last, or something that gives a quick hit but might wear out fast?
Haha. Well, I reckon it's more like our North Carolina barbecue sauces. Some like it sweet and long-lasting, others prefer that quick tangy kick. But I'll tell ya, getting it wrong is like biting into a pepper when you're expecting a blueberry.
Smells like Wee's so far off pace, they might be better off in a hearse. At least then someone would be pushing from behind. Bloody hell, smells like Wee's gotta get the wind back in their sails. They're mucking about while Robin Overbeck's off having a barbie with the lead. Blimey, the talent on the track today is like watching kangaroos on steroids.
Yeah, and just like those kangaroos, these drivers can really hop into action. You reckon they've got a pocket full of secrets?
In a race where seconds count, smells like Wee is counting on less of them between themselves and Robin Overbeck. Much like I'm counting on less seconds until lunchtime. Good on ya, Andreas Didman. Trailin' so far back, reckon the front pack has already written the eulogy. Mate, Andreas Didman's creeping up on Sunoiler like a dingo on a picnic. Must have tweaked that brake bias a touch to the rear. Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition at Assetto Corsa, friends. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds, or even lead to a crash. But these drivers are up to the challenge, and they're giving it their all. It's clear that Assetto Corsa, friends, really is the place to be for top quality racing.
If Smells Like Wee goes any slower, they'll join me in my failed dreams collection. Front row seats available. It seems like Smells Like Wee has got the bit between their teeth, improving on Robin Overbeck's lap time there.
Hot damn. Smells like Wee's burning it up, and Robin Overbeck's got front row seats to the show. Hope they didn't blush too hard.
I've made some questionable life decisions, but trailing over 2 seconds behind. Even I'm not that self-sabotaging.
Well, butter my biscuit. Nathan Vexler's hanging back like they're waiting for an inheritance. But ain't nobody dying up front.
It looks like Smells Like Wee is pushing hard to catch up to Robin Overbeck. The gap is over a second, but Smells Like Wee is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Robin Overbeck?
Look, Smells Like Wee's pace is a lot like my dance moves. Good intentions, questionable execution.
Good news for Smells Like Wee, the gap to Robin Overbeck has decreased. It's now down to 0.9 seconds. Tell ya what, Robin Overbeck's got more followers right now than I do on Insta. Which, to be fair, isn't saying much.
If racing was a rodeo, Robin Overbeck's riding that bull and not letting go.
Haha, down under we'd say they're clinging on like a possum in a gum tree. Breaking update, oh dear, Mr. Bang has had an incident.
Racing at Lost Heaven racing circuits like a box of chocolates, you never know what you're gonna get. Today, Mr. Bang got the lemon.
Things are heating up as Smells Like Wee tries to close the gap to Robin Overbeck.
Looks like Smells Like Wee has got more moves than a cowboy in a honky-tonk bar. Robin Overbeck better watch out or he'll be two step right off the ground.
It seems like Smells Like Wee is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace. You know, Hal, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Joe Ergu trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Andreas Didman. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Joe Ergu close in enough to mount a challenge?
It's going to be tough for your view, as Andreas Didman seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Yorgu pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
Whoa there, Smells Like Wee is sticking to Robin Overbeck like glue. You reckon Robin Overbeck's feeling the pressure? Cause I sure would. Creaky, Smells Like Wee's sticking to Robin Overbeck like Vegemite on toast. This is more tense than a possum in headlights. The gap might be more than a second, but Mr. Bang is showing persistence. Kind of like me trying to open a pickle jar. Keep it in, and something's got to give. Yeah, look at that. Mr. Bang's thrown down the gauntlet. Robin Overbeck, you gonna pick that up or just admire the view from behind?
Yeehaw, Mr. Bang just lassoed that lap time. Robin Overbeck, you feeling a bit tied up now?
Smells Like Wee is placed 5th at the moment. They are hoping to keep their distance ahead of Mr. Bang, who is 0.8 seconds behind.
A few lengths might not sound like much, but in racing, that's like dancing on the edge of a razor blade. Smells Like Wee's footwork is top-notch today.
Smells Like Wee's turned up the heat and put some shrimp between them and Mr. Bang, making a fair dinkum gap. Jack M team is placed second at the moment.
You're right. Every gear shift, every turn counts. Jack M team knows the weight of that second.
A commanding performance from Jack M team, who has increased their lead over Nart and Vexler, putting them firmly in their rearview mirrors. As a former driver, Hal, how did you manage the physical demands of racing?
It's all about preparation, Rob. Drivers undergo rigorous fitness training to build their strength, stamina, and flexibility. A proper diet and hydration plan is also essential to ensure peak performance on race day.
Andreas Dittmann isn't just racing. They're weaving a narrative, sitting proudly in 8th.
Definitely, but they can't get too comfortable. There are plenty of other drivers who are gunning for that position, and Andreas Dittmann has to keep pushing to stay on the pace.
Oh, this is getting intense. Smells Like We is just behind Robin Overbeck.
With the way Smells Like We is stalking Robin Overbeck, you'd think they're trying to figure out what they had for breakfast this morning.
You beauty, Smells Like We's lap was hotter than a sunburnt shrimp on the barbecue.
Things are hotting up now, Rob, and it'll be interesting to see if they can improve further on that time.
The race has its rhythm, and right now, Jack M team is dancing to its beat at second.
You nailed it. The track is a battleground, and Jack M team's position is their fortress. Let's see how long they hold the fort.
Now, that's what I'm talking about. Smells Like We is proper nipping at Robin Overbeck's heels. Are they thinking of making a lunge? Only time will tell.
Should things go awry, Smells Like We and Robin Overbeck might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
Smells Like We's falling behind Robin Overbeck at a rate of knots. They're going to need some serious pedal power to close the gap. Some say it's about the journey, not the destination, but Nart and Vexler seems pretty intent on that third spot. As we come into the final moments of this epic race, Megasaurus 55 is in the lead. Can they stay calm and bring home the bacon? And there it is. Megasaurus 55 has completed the race in first place, setting a blistering pace that none of the other drivers could match.
What a display of skill and precision.
Eighth is Andreas Dittmann. Joe Ergu in 9th. Impressive second place finish for Jack M team.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
Well done to Nart and Vexler for securing third place on the podium.
Great job bringing it home.
Fourth and fifth sees Mr. Bang and Smells Like We. Taking sixth and seventh is Robin Overbeck and Sun Oiler.